our culture and lifestyles are different. In Africa, there are many grasslands like this. When you have time, you can visit the national parks, explore Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Kenya.
Last night, the locals organized a farewell party for them. It was great fun.
Mbona kila mara una wasiwasi? Pole, pole.
Pole what? What pole?
Can you help us with the surgery? We're short on staff.
You think I can?
Minutes past the top of the hour, due for what is making news at this hour in Nairobi and beyond. This is KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen. Arange. Caroline Joroge is our sign language interpreter. We begin with the very latest from how the by-elections went down yesterday. And the Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Mulele, has suffered a major setback after Milimani's Chief Magistrate Court declined his request to withdraw a case where 3 accused persons were charged with defrauding over 10 million shillings from Heritage Flowers Limited in 2021. In his ruling, Principal Magistrate Paul Mutai stated the withdrawal was in bad faith since the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions failed to involve the complainant in the process leading to the withdrawal as required by the Victims Protection Act. In the detailed ruling, the magistrate stated it will be a miscarriage of justice if he were to allow the application and further directed the case to proceed to its logical conclusion from 12th February 2026.
Constitutional dispensation. The rights of the victims are not less than that of the accused person. The mandate of the ODPP includes compliance with the law, failing to involve victim in this process, leading to the withdrawal of leading to the application to have this matter withdrawn, was a mission, which in my view does not meet the ends of justice. The result is converse. It's a miscarriage of justice. There is another issue which featured prominently in both the affidavits by the prosecution and the accused. It is to the effect that this matter is purely civil dispute, and there is a matter pending in the High Court over the same matter. The citation of the High Court was given as HCOMM E894 of 2021, Pujamir Ijaz Mohamed Ali versus Shailesh Rai and 2 others. According to the prosecution, this is a proper forum to ventilate this matter.
Stakeholders in the technical and vocational education and training sector in Eldoret have renewed their commitment to strengthening the dual TVET model, calling for deeper industry involvement to boost youth employability. The push comes as Kenya prepares for the full implementation of the national dual TVET policy in 2026. Stakeholders emphasize that the industry must remain at the core of the model, citing progress in mentorship, partnerships and workplace-based learning. They noted that renewed commitments now set the pace for alignment ahead of the 2026 rollout of the national dual TVET policy.
Force collaboration. Dual TVET only thrives when partnerships do. Stronger ties between institutions Industry and BMOs are essential for improving inclusivity, training quality, and the consistency of industry-based learning. We are here to reposition our regional agenda in line with the national dual-TVET policy and current labor market realities. This includes enhancing mentorship systems, deepening gender equality measures, and strengthening pathways for persons with disabilities.
That we are engaging the TVET institutions, the academia, for us as industry to tell them what we think about the dual training that is happening now and that will be implemented. So we want to work together so that we can have our young people to be well trained and be motivated, in whatever courses they are doing, and to get future employment both here in Kenya and even internationally.
Non-governmental organizations advocating for the welfare of childcare providers have renewed calls for safe and favorable working spaces for domestic workers to enable them to provide quality care to children under their watch. During a multi-stakeholder forum on sexual and gender-based violence held in Kisumu, the organizations under the auspices of the Coalition on Violence Against Women, COVA, underscored the need to improve the welfare of childcare providers to boost their work morale. The coalition is currently rolling out a project in Kisumu, Kakamega, and Nairobi counties dubbed Action for Paid Childcare Sector Transformation. The project seeks to dignify workers in the childcare sector with the overall goal of improving their welfare.
Care workers are telling us. We want to find out the challenges that are getting on the ground. We know very well that when they are not well taken care of, even the children are not safe.
The caregivers have seen or maybe have heard about the challenges that I talked about intimidation in their places where they work, and also low payment. They also do not have space. They get a lot of verbal abuse.
The probabilities of a child getting abused increases marginally when you have a disempowered domestic worker, when you have a disempowered caregiver.
And in the project today, the ACT project that COVA is implementing, we are also calling upon all stakeholders to come together and see how we can make the spaces in which domestic workers are working safe. Because these include the homes or the centers where they take care of the children.
Traders at Umoja 2 Market staged a day-long protest blocking major access roads around the market to oppose what they claim is an attempt to grab the land on which their business sit. The traders say a private developer is laying claim to the 1-acre market after allegedly securing a favorable court ruling. They insist the judgment, though reported online, has not yet appeared on the official judiciary portal, which they believe is a deliberate tactic to lock them out of filing an appeal. The traders vowed that the market will not be surrendered under their watch, stressing that more than 300 shops stand to be lost if the county-owned facility is transferred to a private individual.
Shamba tulipatiwa ni kanjo 203 na kanjo ikakubali tujenge na tukajenga na tukapata kibali ya hii shamba iko hapa. Tukajenga kutoka wakati huo kufika mwaka wa 2019. Mtu mmoja anaitwa Hele Rohio akakuja akabomoa. Ule alikuwa chairman by then akaenda kotini, lakini alienda peke yake akashindwa. Na hiyo ruling ndio wanatumia. Sasa hii ruling ingine ilifanywa 20 na kutoka 20 ijaweko kwa poto ya bali iko ukienda kwa register hakuna kitu kinapatikana.
Tunaheshimu uamuzi wa koti, lakini hatukubaliani nao. Tukasema sisi tunaenda kwa appeal. Sasa hiyo kwa appeal imekuwa shida kwa sababu ule judge alifanya hiyo ruling hajaweka ile ruling kwa portal ya Judicial Service Commission. Na hiyo ndio ruling inafanya wananchi wanafanya hii mgomo. Kwa sababu tunahitaji hiyo ruling ndio tuweze kufanya appeal. To some education matters now, teachers in Kiambu County are raising the alarm
over the country's preparedness for the Grade 10 transition, warning that key gaps could undermine the competency-based education rollout. Under the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, Cooperative, the teachers said that most of them who are expected to handle Grade 10 have not been fully retooled, while those trained reported that the sessions were inadequate and left them ill-prepared for classroom implementation. They also cite delays in the release of learning materials, with publishers yet to supply key textbooks due to pending government payments. A setback they fear could disrupt lessons in the first term.
We are admitted on 12th of January 2026, but there are no books. The teachers have not even had the curriculum designs so that they can know what they are working in.
Consider the issue of confirming the interns top of your priority. The interns have been patriotic enough. They have served our JS institutions. Therefore, kindly be gracious to them and confirm them so that by the time the academic calendar is starting in January, these teachers will be serving at a permanent and pensionable terms.
Elsewhere, efforts to disengage, disarm, and reintegrate offenders linked to armed groups have received a major boost at the Shimolatewa Maximum Security Prison in Mombasa County, following the launch of a counseling center and vocational training facility. Speaking during the commissioning of the project, Principal Secretary for Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Biako, reaffirmed the government's commitment to evidence-based rehabilitation, global best practices, and a whole security approach to offender reform. The center is funded by Japan's Foreign Affairs Ministry through Accept International.
Tukate tamaa ama mkate tamaa ninyi wanaume. Tangu leo mseme mimi lile jukumu ambalo Mungu amenipa mimi lazima nilishike maanani, nilitilie maanani, nibadilike mwenyewe. Kama nitakuwa hapa gerezani kadri ya miaka 5, miaka 3, miaka 20, I acquire a skill.
In Homa Bay County, residents of Kaksingiri are recording increased incomes and reduced poverty levels thanks to Victory Farms' Homa Bay Extensive Aquaponics program. The community-driven project is enabling smallholder farmers to earn steady monthly royalties from pond-based fish egg production, a model that beneficiaries say is transforming livelihoods and easing long-standing economic hardships. According to HIP project manager Georgia Hoyle, the program now works with about 30 farmers in Kaksingiri, some managing up to 8 ponds each. The pond produce fish eggs for Victory Farmers operations in Lake Victoria, with partners earning 1,200 shillings per kilo of harvested eggs.
And the vision for this is to allow local people to participate in the success of Victory Farms and to be involved. And the idea is it brings financial stability, reliable income every month that people can use for school fees, for house improvements, for local businesses.
Niko na ponds 2 na napata faida. Kwa mwezi naweza pata 30,000 ama 20 na kitu kwa hiyo pond. Na watu wa Victory Farm wametusaidia sana. Tumebadilika maisha. Maisha sasa imekuwa mazuri. Siku hizi najisikia vizuri, sisikii kama niko na shida.
And as the 16 days of activism continue, calls to step up the fight against sexual and gender-based violence are growing louder. And this just comes as Kericho County recorded 224 cases of SGBV and 110 cases of child marriage between January and March this year. Speaking during the launch of the campaign in Chepcholiet, Kipkelion East, Kericho County, woman member of National Assembly Beatrice Kemei urged Kenyans to unite in confronting rising cases of FGM, teen pregnancies and other forms of abuse. She warned that the lack of awareness also continues to fuel the crisis.
Called to unite, raise awareness, educate and confront this monster, which include teenage pregnancies and FGM. I want to call upon all our religious leaders to use their strong attitude and influence to speak against these ills in the society.
African faith-based actors and health leaders are pushing for the adoption of locally led health solutions to boost critical health sector that is struggling following the withdrawal of donor funding. To attain the feat, the actors noted that African countries ought to invest in local pharmaceutical drug manufacturing, actively engage in technological transfers, onboarding of private sectors to inject the much-needed capital, and governments to increase funds meant for the health sector. Opicho Chemtai has that report.
Global donors, mainly the United States, that supported critical areas such as HIV, tuberculosis, malaria, among others, has left many African countries vulnerable and exposed.
But with the donor fatigue, those have been seriously affected to a point where now we are beginning to see resurgence of malaria. There is a resurgence of HIV/AIDS.
As an American, where I have the solutions for what works across Africa, I don't. It is the job of the health leaders and the religious leaders in Africa to solve the problems.
To bridge the gap, faith-based actors and health leaders drawn across Africa gathered in Nairobi with an agenda of seeking sustainable, locally led health solutions for governments to adopt and implement.
Church health facilities to start some income generation activities. And now we had a seed fund to give them, and that seed fund was a merry-go-round. It meant that if they borrowed from the secretariat, when they give it back, we would give it to another facility.
In Tanzania, we have taken an approach which we call market-based approach, whereby the facilities will concentrate on the area of the demand driven, but also introduce medical projects.
We are involving companies, and it's very, very important. Most of them are ready to do it, but they had thought it was the responsibility of other people.
Now, arising from the funding, we believe that the locally led solutions are its imperative for sustainability.
The sector players were keen to challenge African governments to shun over-dependence on financial aid from donors.
We cannot continue with business as usual. We need to begin to raise resources in our own countries to fill up the gap.
But I'm convinced that it provides us one of the best platforms for managing our complex diversities.
The actors calling on countries to invest in preventive mechanism as opposed to curative, and that they are committed to supporting the sector to thrive and to be self-reliant.
To have a business on that, not for profit, but also to have a quality drugs. Because people are trusting us, and we have also to make sure that we are really doing that.
Consider calling the faith-based to the table. We have, in terms of service delivery, 40% of healthcare output is provided by the faith-based, and they cannot be ignored.
Hi to the world. Elsewhere, to lessen the burden that single mothers go through to sustain their families, Health Aid Assistant International has launched an economic empowerment program that will ensure they have access to quality healthcare, safe housing, and opportunities for skills development.
You deserve more than survival. You deserve dignity. You deserve opportunities. You deserve support and system that recognizes your work. We have 17 constituencies. Each constituency has a coordinator, and we're looking at 100 single mothers in each constituency, meaning we'll have 1,700 mothers who are single in Nairobi. We are going to have this empowerment, sustainable resilience activities.
Opicho Chemtai for Lunchtime News.
President William Ruto has launched the long-awaited Nairobi-Nakuru Mau Summit Road project, a key road along that area. Our very own John Jacob Curia has been there. He's following up on this beat. JJ, what more can you tell us after this launch?
Good afternoon, Doreen Arange, back at Broadcasting House. This is Gilgil, the T-point. It's called the T-point Gilgil because it's a T-point because one road heads towards Nyahururu and of course the other one goes towards Nakuru. This is where President William Ruto has launched the dualling of the Rironi Mau Summit Road. And he says this is a project that will be complete by May of 2027. This is what he intends, that indeed that this road will be complete by May 2027. If my cameraman can just pan, so probably you see the commemorative plaque where President William Ruto has launched a plaque. And from this point, the contractor, there are two contractors actually that the president has launched. One will start constructing this road from here in Gilgil, moving back towards Rironi, and the other one will construct this road moving all the way up to Nakuru. From there's another contractor also that will take from Mau Summit and proceeding. So you will remember that President William Ruto says that this road is supposed to go all the way to Malaba. The idea being to ensure that this transport corridor that serves almost 5 East African nations, one of them being Uganda, there's the DRC, Burundi, and Rwanda, will be served by this road. So the idea of taking it to Malaba, obviously, is to ensure that this transport corridor is smooth, particularly for the transit of goods. From there, I think at some point, Uganda is supposed to take it over and then extend it all the way. That means then that the governments that are in this country will have to take up the project again and ensure it goes all the way up to DRC as well as South Sudan. And this is the import of this project. Of course, it's going to cost billions of shillings, but the president assures this does not incur any debt on the taxpayer or what you'd say the exchequer, because the idea is a public-private partnership, a PPP model. It's similar to the same that was extended towards the expressway in Nairobi. It was constructed through a PPP model. Obviously, the big question would be the efficiency and again ensure there are no cost overruns in the construction of the road, which President William Ruto assures there is no cost to the exchequer. The idea is that once this road is complete, it will be a toll road. And that means then it will be 3 lanes on that other side and 3 lanes on this one, but the middle lanes will be tolled. That means if you have to access them, then you have to pay for it. Then if you're not able to pay, then you use the outer lanes. But then it means then that the much traffic that you see on this road is absolutely done away with. And then that means then there's efficiency in terms of the transport of goods and services. That's not the only project that the government is planning to do. Obviously, he says by January, he will come back to Naivasha to launch the extension of SGR from the Naivasha dry port to go again all the way up to Malaba and to ease the transport of cargo again through the SGR. And that is part of a grand plan for infrastructure. But what he says much must be done is about the law that was passed about last week and signed into law by the president. Actually signed it into law last week by the president. And that is the establishment of the infrastructure fund that he says will go a long way towards achieving the dream of more than 28,000 kilometers of tarmacked road in Kenya. And that's just it from Gilgil. Want to hand you back to Broadcasting House for the rest of the news. Thank you very much, Doreen. Good afternoon.
That's That's right, and as you mentioned, a very key and significant road there that is congestion, especially for those that travel to go to the sides of Western, and also aid in transportation of goods as you head over to the sides of Malaba, Busia border and the likes. He said that this is going to be a game changer, different kind of road there. Back to studio, to that's where I had mentioned earlier on how it went down on the by-elections and the entire counting and tallying process. And now, the broad-based government has recorded a sweeping landslide victory in the just concluded by-elections, clinching all 6 National Assembly seats that were up for contest. Mbeere North and Malava constituencies, where political stakes were at their highest, were both clinched by the ruling party. UDA with Magarini and Kasipul constituencies, also hotly contested, delivered victory to the Orange Democratic Movement Party candidates. The Ugunja and Banisa MP seats were clinched by ODM and UDA respectively. President William Ruto termed the win as a reminder that the nation is bigger and better when it stands united.
After hours of counting, tallying and close monitoring of the fiercely contested by-elections conducted on Thursday, the broad-based government secured a sweeping win, leaving the united opposition to content with only a handful of electoral wards. In Mbeere North, UDA's Leo Wamuthende trounced his closest opponent from the Democratic Party, Newton Kariuki, garnering 15,802 votes against Kariuki's 15,308 votes.
As you can see, it was a hotly contested race, and it's only through God that we've made it this far. I also want to thank UDA, my party, for the support.
In Malava, UDA's David Ndakwa secured 21,564 votes, edging out his nearest rival, Seth Panyako of DAP Kenya, who garnered 20,210 votes. Campaigns in both constituencies had drawn national attention, with analysts describing them as a litmus test for both the ruling party and the opposition.
Watu wa Malava wamesema statement yao ya kusema kwamba they have gone for the best kwa wale walikuwa wamesimama, and they have exercised their democratic right, na hakuna mtu amewashurudisha, na ni kusema kwamba sisi wote right now is to focus kwenda mbele, tukijua kwamba hatuna muda wa kumaliza na kuwest, kwa sababu election nyingine ninajua hata mimi mwali niko hapa kwamba ni 2027.
Harrison Garama Kombe 17,909.
At the coast in Nyanza, the contest in Magarini and Kasipul were equally heated. Harrison Kombe of ODM, whose previous victory had been nullified, carried the day with 17,909 votes, trouncing his closest opponent Stanley Kenga of DCP, who secured 8,907 votes.
Honorable Omondo Boyd Were.
In Kasipul, Boyd Were Ongondo, the son of the late Charles Ongondo Were, emerged the winner, garnering 16,819 votes, double that of his closest challenger, independent candidate Philip Nation Aroko, who managed 8,476 votes.
I want to thank the people of Kasipul for believing in me and entrusting me with the responsibility to lead them. And I want to urge everyone in Kasipul, let's embrace each other.
And I'm sure Boyd is ready, Boyd is strong, Boyd is focused, and I am sure that he will deliver for the people of Kasipul in partnership with the county government, the national government, and everybody else. So we are very, very excited.
Mondi Moses Oko, 9,477.
In Ugunja, ODM further strengthened its grip, officially reclaiming the seat with a comfortable margin, giving victory to Moses Omondi with 9,227 votes against his closest challenger, Orosi Odhiambo of Wiper, who garnered 1,819 votes.
One, Mr. Mondi Moses Okoth has garnered more votes than any other candidate.
Meanwhile, Banisa constituency, which had stayed years without a lawmaker, saw the electorates elect Ahmed Hassan of UDA, securing 10,431 votes, edging out Nurdin Malim of UPA, who garnered 1,240 votes.
I am calling on my competitor to embrace the spirit of competition and accept this election result. And it is my honor to welcome them so that we lead this great constituency of Banisa.
Kamche Menza for Lunchtime News.
1:30 p.m. due for our first break. We circle back with more, including business and sports. Stay with us.
When the hills gave way in Marquette, thousands were left with nothing. But together, we can help them rise again. Join KBC in the Restore Hope, Restore Earth campaign, Unity in Adversity. Together for Marquette. Donate through paybill number 522533, account number 8036543, or drop foodstuffs and supplies at Marquette County offices. Every shilling, every tree, every act of kindness counts. KBC, bringing Kenyans together.
What on earth is wrong with you, Mom? Letitia, I don't want you to have any kind of relationship with that young man. But Mom, Sadie is my best friend. Leave now, please. No, Sadie, please don't. Oh, dear. Don't say that.
Rebecca, what's happened to you? Oh, dear, look at you. Why are you covered in blood?
Nora.
That's the truth. Yes, I feel something. Something really special for Marcelo. Something I've never felt before.
Now get out of here.
You can't force me to get out of here, Aunt. She's my sister and I want to be beside her. I have a right to do that.
Don't talk about rights because you have no right to anything.
Go of
get
me.
out
Don't
of here.
drag me
Just
because I
leave
can
her
leave.
alone.
The bottom-up economic transformation agenda is not just a plan on paper.
Manifesto tulioandika na tukauzia Wakenya na wakatupigia kura, sio gazeti ya kuvunga nyama.
It is happening on the ground across Kenya.
Enda subabogi Moriega Jodhurwa untie Mogani Pamjambo.
In agriculture,
Turkana wameamkia mambo ya ukulima sasa.
On our roads,
Lami black anaingia hapa anagausha hapa. Wacha bana.
In health,
all our patients are in SHA 100%.
In housing,
kutoka nyumba za mabati kuleta nyumba kama hii ya ghorofa ni kitu ya mzuri sana.
In our markets,
umetukumbuka sisi mama mboga, shida zetu umezitatua,
and so much more.
It's a good thing the government inakuja mashinani na this is all what we have been requesting.
This is transformation. This is impact. This is delivering the plan. Every Friday on KBC Channel 1.
A conversation about changing systems, rebuilding dignity, and of course, proving that there definitely is life beyond the bars.
Shock on me. This officer says to me, I'm actually here to arrest you. From that point on, the wrongful prosecution begins. I am a convicted felon in this country. The friends I had, all the contacts, everyone has disappeared. So reality checks in. And it's a very harsh reality. Poverty does not equate criminality.
Yeah.
So let us change that in this country and see to it that the opposite of justice is not inequality.
Welcome back. Now, President William Ruto has officially launched the dualling of the Rironi-Nakuru Summit Road, marking the start of construction on the 170-kilometer highway that links Nairobi to the Rift Valley and Western Kenya. The project to be implemented under a public-private partnership by a consortium led by China Road and Bridge Corporation and the National Social Security Fund aims to ease decades of congestion, delays and frequent accidents along the corridor. The president noted that the improved highway will cut transport and freight costs, boost regional trade and open new markets for farmers and businesses across the Rift Valley and Western Kenya. The president also challenged the opposition to present a better plan to Kenyans instead of propagating the politics of personalities and division.
Ya kwamba wakimaliza hii barabara ifike Gilgil, wakuje sasa waanze ile ya kutoka hapa kwenda chini pale Maimahiu kupitia mpaka ifike Naivasha. Kontrakta mwingine anangoja pale Gilgil. Leo tunaenda kuanzisha sasa hiyo barabara kutoka Gilgil pale iende Nakuru, iende Mau Summit. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, mimi nataka siku ya madaraka. Siku gani? 2027, siku ya madaraka, tarehe 1 mwezi wa 6. Mimi nakuja kufungua hii barabara ikiwa imekamilika. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Na sio peke yake Kiambu tunajenga kila sehemu ya Kenya bila ubaguzi, bila ukabila, bila chuki, bila ya kubagua sehemu yoyote ya Kenya, kwa sababu mimi naelewa umoja ya taifa letu la Kenya.
To the latest in the world of business, and a section of Laikipia farmers are recording increased yields after sustainable agriculture training by the Food and Agriculture Organization. The training, which focuses on conservation agriculture management and aggregation, is helping farmers adapt to climate change effects and facilitate all year-round farming.
The Food Agricultural Organization, in partnership with several development agencies, have trained farmers in Laikipia County on better ways to mitigate climate change effects.
We had a series of trainings, about 6 of them, on different issues: management, then there was aggregation, warehousing, agriculture, production and variation, mpaka marketing.
Alongside climate-smart farming skills, farmers also received financial literacy training to help them make better decisions on farm investments and market opportunities.
We were taken through gross margin analysis so that you can know when you are breaking even, when you are going at a loss, and when you are getting profit. So after the gross margin analysis, I was able to increase productivity, and I was able to break even and even to get profit.
As a result, many farmers are now reporting increased productivity on their farms.
Pia kando na sasa drying, tumeona members wetu wamefikia community na community wamekubali kutuletea mahindi zaidi. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia mwaka huu tutakuwa na mahindi kiwango ambaye hatujawahi pata kutokana na yale mafundisho tuliyopata kutoka kwa FAO.
The 3.8 million shillings initiative is helping farmers adopt modern, climate-smart techniques and strengthen producer organizations for improved market access.
And after they received this grant, we trained them, and their capacity was enhanced in development of their strategy, or rather implementing the grant activity.
Local farmers say the interventions are already enhancing their resilience to drought and boosting overall yields, boosting the area's food security. Sylvia Gatti for Lunchtime News.
Cooperative Bank has partnered with the United Nations Development Programme to advance cheap credit to farmers in rural South Sudan as part of its expansion strategy. The lender's South Sudan Managing Director Elijah Wamalwa says a 3.2 billion shillings fund has been created for onward lending South Sudan farmers and will mainly focus on strengthening the cooperatives and market systems. Coop Bank plans to leverage on mobile banking solutions and village-level agents to penetrate the South Sudan market.
This is a very important project where there is partnership is involved. Let us all work hard to see to it that this baby which is born today, we try to nurse it so that it grows to become a big child that will be useful to everybody.
I know that to do that, we might need to address a number of challenges here in South Sudan, and these are related to the fact that we know that the productivity of agriculture is very low here. We know also that the country is facing a lot of market access issues that need to be tackled.
Today, most of our people that access banking service or credit services are mostly within the major urban towns and majorly Juba. But we envisage a future where across the country, these financial services will be readily available. That a farmer in Yambia would easily be able to access credit to buy farm inputs.
Kenyan government has been encouraged to create policies that will aid in implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals ahead of the 2030 deadline. Speakers at the 2025 Annual National SDGs Multi-Stakeholders Conference say there is need for policies that will increase investments in renewable energy, digital transformation, and financial inclusion, key agendas of the SDGs.
Globally, you find that SDGs 35% are on track, but the 65% either are lagging or regressing. This is not only for Kenya, but all other countries. But we are saying that we still have an opportunity to hold together collaboratively and innovate ways of accelerating implementation.
To all of you, our commitment to, for all of us should be that as we move forward, there's a lot to do. This country is waiting on us. Our people are waiting on us in terms of the SDG implementation process.
I do invite all of us here to invest in community-driven solutions, to think about innovative financing models, to enhance collaboration across sectors so that we can break silos, to share data openly so that we can be able to strengthen citizen-generated data systems, and also continue championing gender equality and gender-responsive budgeting and policies.
Meaningful youth inclusion means that youth representation at national and county decision-making bodies exist, youth leading and not just participating, youth contributing to policy designs, not just implementation, and also inclusion frameworks that consider gender, disability, and rural realities.
60 international rally drivers from 75 nationalities will feature in the 12th edition of the East Africa Classic Rally, which will be hosted from 5th to 13th December in Kwale, Taita Taveta and Kajiado counties. Sports CS Salim Vuria says through the rally, Kenya is positioning sports tourism as a powerful new economic frontier.
Everything felt good. The car was working well.
The 2025 edition of the East Africa Safari Classic Rally is a 9-day endurance event covering over 3,000 kilometers as it traverses 6 counties: Kwale, Mombasa, Kilifi, Taita Taveta, Makueni and Kajiado.
No, they will begin in Diani in day 1. Then they drive off to Savo, Salt Lake in Taita Taveta, and then in Amboseli in Kajiado County, running through part of Makueni, part of Mombasa, part of Kilifi.
The historic journey will attract 60 competing crews and motorsport enthusiasts from around the world. Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria says participants from Italy, Greece, Sweden, the Netherlands, South Africa, UK, the United States of America, Canada, among others, have already confirmed their participation.
The event is getting from strength to strength. It is considered the world's toughest classic rally today. And I'm sure in the next 5 to 7 years, it will be the world's greatest rally.
Only one service car is being allowed this year per competitor, one management car and one auxiliary service car.
Frederick Mwoki for Lunchtime News.
The countdown to the UK's biggest sporting event next summer has officially begun as the longest countdown clock for the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games was officially launched at Glasgow Central Station. The clock has been commissioned by Glasgow 2026 and Longinus, principal partner and official timekeeper for Glasgow 2026. Glasgow Central Station will sit at the heart of Games, which run from 23rd July to 2nd August next year, in the middle of an 8-mile corridor of venues used by 3,000 athletes from across 74 nations. And that's all the time we had for you this afternoon. We appreciate you for your valid company. This has been KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Caroline Njoroge has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.
Both we come from United Kingdom.
Even you?
Yeah.
May I come in United Kingdom slums? Listen very carefully, because this case you are going to be hanged.
Wewe ndiye nilitumia pesa sababu pesa ilikuwa na reflect jina yako.
When you say I'm calling you sugar, look at me.
Oh yes.
I'm a perfect figure. I'm on a diet. That's all.
Yes. Con Kenyan ladies.
No. I'm more interested in, you know, the hippopotamus.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Tuulize na Kiswahili. Muulize na Kiswahili.
How can we contact young lady mheshimiwa?
Which con man? Which con man?
Yaani uko na macho ine na uone.
Unaijua sauti ya imani ambayo ilisimama thabiti ingawa ilipata shida.
Miaka ilivyopita, Uislamu uliposimama imara, Mtume Muhammad aliamua kumchagua Bilal kuwa muadhini wa kwanza katika Uislamu.
Tumeona watu wakikata tamaa na wengine ambao hawana imani wakaamua wengine mpaka kujitia kitanzi. Kwa wengine mmefanya makosa ambayo umeona yametutoa katika Uislamu. Usikate tamaa na rahma ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Ya Nabi salam alayka, ya Rasul salam alayka.
We have our principles and they have their rules. Our culture and lifestyles are different. In Africa, there are many grasslands like this. When you have time, you can visit the national parks, explore Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Kenya.
Last night, the locals organized a farewell party for them. It was great fun.
Mbona kila mara una wasiwasi? Pole.
Pole what? What pole? Can you help us with the surgery? We're short on staff. You think I can?
What on earth is wrong with you, Mom? Letitia, I don't want you to have any kind of relationship with that young man. But Mom, Sadie is my best friend. Leave now, please. No, Sadie, please hold on, dear. Don't say that. Rebecca, what's happened to you? Oh, dear nurse, why are you covered in blood? Nora.
That's the truth. Yes, I feel something. Something really special for Marcelo. Something I've never felt before.
Now get out of here.
You can't force me to get out of here, Aunt. She's my sister and I want to be beside her. I have a right to do that.
Don't talk about rights because you have no right to anything.
Go of
get
me.
out
Don't
of here.
drag me.
Just leave her alone.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
My other talent is dancing, modeling. I also play ice hockey and roller hockey, and I also play golf and tennis. My future plan is to be a doctor and a Miss Universe, and in skating I would like to be a coach and train those kids who want to skate.
Mama's porridge is sweet.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup.
Today I'm going to teach you how to make a toilet roll sheet.
Mama's porridge is sweet.
Differently. Not have a special society, so it has to start with us.
We still have a large number of people who doesn't know the rights of persons with disability. We still have a large number of people who are not exposed. Parents and guardians, they are still hiding persons with disability.
Nimekuwa na challenge moja tu ya kumpeleka shule. Juu shule yenye ameitwa ni huko Kilimani. Ukimpeleka shule za huku unakuambia wataki mtoto haoni. Juu ati tukimweka huko kwa class ni kumpotezea wakati.
We want to get rid of those areas and the normal way people look at people with disabilities, the way they charge them.
Differently.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima
tunaangazia kilimo cha asili
na kisha faida zinazotokana na kilimo mjini.
Ukiangalia kama hii karatasi yangu nimeokota. Kwa hivyo nimefanya recycling. Kwa hivyo pale tu ni mchango utatafuta. Borea sisi ndio tunajitengenezea si wenyewe.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi hii saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1
kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Faith versus ambition. When do I know when I'm overstepping? When do I know when I'm going too far?
People believe so long as I prayed, God will do everything.
Yeah.
No, prayer is like a boardroom meeting with God. So the guy who is doing things without God can get results but not get peace.
Okay.
The guy who's not doing anything but believes in God will be frustrated and will actually suffer depression. Our God is faithful, our God is loving, our God wants you to succeed. But over and above, our God wants us to be productive.
Ya zile nguo
alizipenda. Kwanza anataka hivyo vipande 12 kwa hivyo tuvitenge.
Ewe, umefuata nini hapa?
sijui kama ni pendo ama ni mambo mengine, lakini hatutamruhusu kufanya hivyo kamwe. Basi huyu ni walangu. Kuna mtu yeyote atakayejaribu kunitenga nalo, basi hataona raha.
Wanipa vitisho ama wajaribu kunifokea?
Si hivyo.
Not have a special society, you know, so it has to start with us.
We still have a large number of people who doesn't know the rights of person with disability. We still have a large number of people who are not exposed. Parents and guardians, they are still hiding persons with disability.
Nimekuwa na challenge moja tu ya kumpeleka shule. Juu shule yenye ameitwa ni huko Kilimani. Ukimpeleka shule za huku unakuambia wataki mtoto haoni. Juu ati tukimweka huko kwa class ni kumpotezea wakati.
We want to get rid of those areas and the normal way people look at people with disabilities, the way they charge them.
Differently. Wiki hii kwenye mkulima
tunaangazia kilimo cha asili
na kisha faida zinazotokana na kilimo mjini.
Ukiangalia kama hii karatasi yangu nimeokota. Kwa hivyo nimefanya recycling. Kwa hivyo pale tu ni mchango utatafuta. Borea sisi ndio tunajitengenezea si wenyewe.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi hii saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1
kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Faith versus ambition. When do I know when I'm overstepping? When do I know when I'm going too far?
People believe so long as I prayed, God will do everything.
Yeah.
No, prayer is like a boardroom meeting with God. So the guy who is doing things without God can get results but not get peace.
Okay.
The guy who's not doing anything but believes in God will be frustrated and will actually suffer depression. Our God is faithful, our God is loving, our God wants you to succeed. But over and above, our God wants us to be productive.
Water is the lifeline of our planet. As the pressures on our planet grow, safeguarding water is not only about securing a resource for ourselves, it is also about protecting the ecosystems that depend on it. Welcome to a new edition of Echo Africa. I'm Malama Mukonde in Kafue, Zambia, and here's my co-host, Chris Elens.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Here's what we have coming up. A conservationist in South Africa using social media to protect seabirds. Bringing a rare frog back from near extinction in Ghana. In France, the benefits and the risks of urban swimming. On Germany's former inner border, what happens when humans leave nature alone? Across Africa, environmental issues often struggle for attention in policy and law. We start the show in Uganda. There, we see how giving people a formal platform to raise concerns and push for action is slowly starting to change the game. New specialized institutions are making it easier for people in government to work together. So the question now is, will they deliver real change?
The opening ceremony of a parliamentary session in Kampala. But it's not your normal kind. Activists, academics, community leaders and entrepreneurs are gathering for the 3rd Annual Environment Parliament in Uganda. While this town hall forum cannot pass laws, it can prompt those who do and hold them to account. Speaker Belinda Ramanya wants it to spark change.
Climate action needs a multidisciplinary action. Regardless of your professional background, regardless of the sector you're in, you could be saying, I am in the informal sector, how do I come into play? Each one of us is the key player, regardless of being young or old. But it is a case for each one of you to think and develop innovative solutions.
One of the attendees who is doing exactly that is Martha Akori, a student and social entrepreneur. She lives in Chireka, one of Kampala's most crowded suburbs. Trash lies around everywhere here. It is an eyesore and also causes many problems for residents. That's why she started a business that makes slippers and sandals using recycled materials.
From this post of single-use plastic bag, we can actually get this fabric, which fabric we can cut according to measurements to make a shoe. And this saves like 20 square feet of land from plastic pollution.
For Martha and her shoemaker, recycling creates an income. She wants her business to be an example of how rubbish can be reused in many ways. But Uganda produces 600,000 tons of waste every year, and only a fraction is recycled. Most of it goes to landfills, many in the middle of residential areas. The Chitezi landfill north of Kampala is no longer in active use. Toxic runoff seeps into water and soil, a danger to thousands. Last year, heavy rains also triggered a collapse that buried several homes. More than 50 people died, among them a 3-month-old baby and 2 of Martha's friends. The Environment Parliament called the incident one of the worst environmental disasters in Uganda's recent history. Local politicians and officials were called to account. Martha believes that simple, sustainable solutions and a focus on recycling could stop this happening again.
We have talent within us and we can fix the situation. That it's not just writing on paper, but we can do and walk the talk.
Uganda already has an environment police, a wildlife court, and other specialized bodies like the Uganda Wildlife Authority. They are also institutions designed to strengthen environmental governance and conservation. They have helped protect endangered species like mountain gorillas and elephants. But despite all these efforts, the country has lost half its forests in just 4 decades. Deforestation fuels global warming, releasing millions of CO2. 3 million hectares, approximately the size of Lesotho, swallowed up by logging and farming. In 2023, a government index ranked the environment sector among the most corrupt, with losses exceeding $700 million a year. A topic that is also addressed during the session, along with exploitation of natural resources. It's a significant source of income for the country, but one that comes at the cost of the environment. Some dare to ask where this money actually ends up.
Of course, we keep saying that the environment sector is underfunded. But the question is, how are we using what we call the meager resources? Are they managed very well?
The Environment Parliament raises issues often ignored in the main parliament. But after attending, Martha has mixed feelings.
With the discussion today, I realized the presentations were majorly theoretical. We have seen year over year, this is the third time we're having the Environmental Parliament. And I'm like, really, can't we come up with more practical things now and support people that are into innovation?
But Martha hopes that if leaders listen to people's concerns more in forums like these, Uganda will experience real change.
Across Africa and the world, human activities are disrupting ecosystems, driving species into extinction and weakening services that nature provides, like clean water and fertile soil. But what if we left nature alone for decades without any interference at all? We head to Germany now, a country that was divided into two for over 40 years. Today, the former inner border zones provides insights into what happens to the environment when humans step back.
What happens when nature is left undisturbed by us humans? In Germany, you can still find out in some places, such as along the former border that once divided the country. This unique green belt is home to a wide variety of insects, such as the sickle-bearing bush cricket and the endangered wartbiter. During the Cold War, a heavily fortified border stretched almost 1,400 kilometres across Germany. Known as the Death Strip, the landscape was mostly free of human presence beyond the guards for over 40 years. This border, also called the Iron Curtain, ran thousands of kilometres across Europe, from the Black Sea up to the Arctic Circle. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, conservationists quickly moved to protect the border zone. That was the moment that kick-started the Greenbelt project. Ecologists and conservationists from East and West met up after the wall fell, and they were already aware that there was a very high concentration of endangered species here. For more than 3 decades, Friends of the Earth Germany has been working hard to protect the Green Belt. In 2025, they conducted a wide survey to systematically record its biodiversity, with a focus on insects. More than 100 traps were checked often over a period of months and the genetic data analysed. Such biodiversity surveys are also valuable in African countries. Here in a nature park near Cape Town, South Africa, school children and adults are taking part in a competition to log the most species of insects and plants. By making people aware of the biodiversity in their surroundings, environmentalists hope to better preserve the ecosystems that we humans rely on. Back in Germany, the Greenbelt movement also hopes the insect data collected will help them to obtain UNESCO World Heritage status. Once the genetic analysis is done, we'll be able to show that we have a huge range of species here, a large amount of which is endangered. I can confidently predict that from what I've seen in my field research so far. Strong scientific evidence is the best basis for conservation efforts in the former Death Strip.
And how about you? If you're also doing your bit, tell us about it. Visit our website or send us a tweet. #DoingYourBit. We share your stories.
Staying in Europe, we're going out to France as cities around the world heat up The need for places where residents can cool down is becoming more urgent. For example, leafy spots like public parks. Well, Paris has invested heavily in cleaning up the Seine River so that people can have a swim. It's a very expensive, ambitious project, and many challenges still remain.
Open water swimming is Raymond's passion. Now he's taking a dip against a different backdrop, the city of Paris. The water is really nice and not too cold. Raymond and his local swimming group were waiting for this for years.
Bonheur, un vrai bonheur.
I'm so happy we can finally swim right here in the city. We wanted to be here today on the symbolic day for Paris. Triathletes competed in the Seine during last year's Olympic Games. The town hall says opening 3 official swimming sites was the obvious next step. Our summers are getting hotter and hotter, and so we need places where people can cool down in dense cities like Paris. Getting the river clean for swimmers has also been good for the local biodiversity. Some fish and plant species have come back to the Seine. But the wet pleasure might not be for everybody, warns this expert. There are a number of hazards the water is not being tested for, such as viruses.
Il faut éviter les enfants en bas âge, les personnes âgées et les gens qui sont immunodéprimés.
Small children, the elderly and immunodeficient people should not jump in. You shouldn't stay in the water for too long and bath in the Seine too often. And swimmers should take a shower right afterwards. After last year's Olympic Games, several triathletes fell indeed ill, possibly due to bad water quality. Still, other European cities, like Berlin or Bâle, have also been turning their rivers into swimming pools to deal with rising temperatures. And Raymond cannot get enough of this. I was so happy. Everybody had a smile on their face. I'll take my children along to swim here during the upcoming holidays. On the inauguration day, Raymond tested all 3 swimming sites in the Seine, admiring Parisian monuments from an, up until now, rather unusual angle.
You know who else loves water? Frogs. You might think they are cute, ugly, or even scary. But what you probably don't realize is just how important they are for the environment. Now, in the last few decades, however, human-driven climate change and habitat loss have been putting them at risk. It's time we head back to Africa for our next story. We go now to Ghana, where conservationists are fighting against amphibian extinction.
These men are searching for a creature that hardly anyone has ever seen. They are conservationists and they are about to get lucky.
Yeah, we got one. Good. Nice.
This is a tadpole of the Atiwa slippery frog. The species lives only here in southern Ghana and is almost extinct. The Atiwa forest is actually officially protected. The government has stopped plans to extract bauxite ore, but illegal mining continues to pollute the water systems.
So the sediments from the illegal mining usually gets into the water bodies, these streams, and then it endangers the habitat of these frogs. So they end up, we end up losing them, and it's become quite a menace. And this is our little way of saving and providing an assurance population for the species.
Named for their smooth skin, it's thought just 200 Atiwa slippery frogs still remain in the wild. Their native habitat is limited to Atiwa forest, which is under increasing pressure from encroachment, pollution, and human-induced climate change. Around 250 kilometers from Atiwa forest lies the Government Research Institute, CSSR. It is here that the team from the NGO Help Conservation in Ghana have carefully brought coolers with the precious tadpoles that they caught in the river. They will be raised under controlled conditions in the lab in an attempt to bring back the Atiwa slippery frog population from the brink.
We have
about 22 tadpoles in these tanks, which we are breeding to successfully be able to have up to 400 slippery frogs in the next 5 years and release them back into their natural habitats when the threat of the frog has been dealt with.
While some people are breeding rare frogs to save them, others are hunting them. We have come to the Nabogo River in one of Ghana's poorest regions, with almost 40% unemployment. Communities here used to live from fishing, but fishing stocks have collapsed. Now frogs are keeping families alive. This particular species isn't endangered yet.
We hunt frogs because we don't have jobs. We know the numbers are declining, but we have no other option. It's how we feed our families. I come here to catch frogs, and I go home and sell them. It's how I provide. I have 2 kids and a wife.
Help Conservation Ghana is working to make communities aware of the vital roles frog plays in keeping ecosystems in balance. Here in the eastern village of Avetimi Bajame, frogs also used to be a delicacy. Today, the region has declared roughly 200 square kilometers a protected zone with no hunting or farming.
When you love to do something and people come to say, this thing is found only in your community, let's try and protect it, it's difficult. It's like you loving your chicken and they say, stop eating chicken. It's difficult. So for people to give up their delicacy, something they love most, that was where the difficulty was. But like you see now, they're all happy they gave their lands up. They're happy that they took that step.
You know, in the past, all animals that live in our rivers were eatable, including the frogs, the crabs, and other animals. And so, that was why we were consuming them. But when this project came down, and we got to know that we can protect them for future eventualities, we stopped.
The community has learned to make a living from protecting the forest. Thousands of visitors come each year to experience the canopy walk and the rare Togo slippery frog. This endangered species is genetically distinct from other frogs and needs pristine, fast-flowing streams to survive.
Oh, calm down.
I think it's interesting to see them because even if I knew beforehand that frogs are important in our biodiversity system, I don't know exactly what's their role in it.
Scientists say the slippery frog genus has evolved separately from other frogs for the last 70 million years. The breeding program is a glimmer of hope they can survive.
We do captive breeding if we think the animals are not able to breed well in their natural environment. So if that is what they found, then captive breeding will solve the problem to some extent. But it might not be the ultimate solution. It has its advantage of increasing the numbers in the wild, but how do you introduce them into the wild? Can they survive the environment in the wild if they are not used to the wild? Because you bred them in human-raised conditions.
So the conservationists will keep searching for tadpoles and performing their invaluable lab work. And hopefully, more of the frog's natural habitats will again be able to thrive untouched.
Now to some more water-loving creatures now. And the fight to save them. Penguins are an endangered species in South Africa. We met up with a young marine conservationist who is using social media to involve the public in our seabird protection and rescue work. She's proving that Instagram is not just for scrolling. It's a great way to raise awareness of a cause and make a difference.
Cape Town's V&A waterfront draws thousands of visitors every year. It also attracts lots of wildlife like these seals. A team from the Two Oceans Aquarium ensures that humans and animals don't get in each other's way in the harbour. Conservationist Martine Villian heads up the team, who share their work and rescue efforts on social media. They disentangle seals from fishing lines and other plastic debris and rescue sunfish and other species that get into difficulty in the harbour.
The beautiful thing about social media is that it has that power to bring change and impact further than just posting in that moment. It's that post lives on and it keeps telling that story. So it's phenomenal seeing people reaching out and asking, how can I get involved in this work? Because when I was younger, there was no one to ask. So I volunteered, I got involved, but it was something that I found probably through luck or through my parents' guidance or through friends that I knew. And there's so many people that don't have those opportunities. So for them to see a future for themselves is really inspiring.
Posting about their work on social media helps thousands of people to learn about protecting marine wildlife and seabirds. One group of birds, and one unique species in particular, holds a special place in Martine's heart. The iconic and critically endangered African penguin, which is facing an increasing number of challenges.
One of the greatest issues we have is the lack of food availability, so they just aren't finding enough food out of the wild. Issues such as climate change has also had a huge impact on their population numbers. And of course, just climate-related events and maritime activity is also a big problem.
Hi, my name is Martine Villian and I'm a marine conservationist in Cape Town with an absolute passion for penguin.
For over a decade, Martine has dedicated her work to the conservation of seabirds and penguins. Whether it's studying them in the field or volunteering to feed and rehabilitate them, she's used her growing social media platform to educate people, especially about African penguins, as they were declared critically endangered in 2024, just one step away from extinction, a fact that many people seem to have missed.
It's been incredible being able to share those stories with people, especially when they're listed to being endangered. A lot of people were commenting they had no idea they were endangered. They had no awareness around the status of the African penguin. They had no awareness around the issues they were facing. So I think that was very impactful to reach people that didn't know about it. But it was a surprise that people didn't know. So it's a great opportunity to learn what the public are seeing and engage with a different audience.
Martine's love of penguins launched another creative initiative a few years ago, designer penguin socks. They're manufactured locally by women in Cape Town, with some of the profit going directly to the South African Foundation for the Conservation of Coastal Birds, or SANCCOB.
I wanted to give back more in a different way. And I had a love for unusual socks, could never find the perfect penguin sock, so decided to create my own and give back to SANCCOB. The beautiful bonus about What On, it's contributing to conservation, it's empowering women through job creation, locally created products, local cotton, locally made, local humans. It really is a beautiful contribution back to South Africa, not just our African penguins, but the humans themselves that work here.
Outside working hours, Martine still finds time to appreciate the marine wildlife she cares about so much, both in the aquarium and in their natural habitat. She believes her outreach work will inspire a new generation of conservationists, helping to ensure that the marine ecosystem around the Western Cape remains a safe haven for seabirds and marine life.
I hope that more people are realizing, having access to social media and being exposed to so many different conservation issues that are facing them, that hopefully these people are driven to themselves put their voice forwards for those animals, that more people will realize you don't have to just get a degree in conservation to help the animals.
Social media can be a force for good It all comes down to how we use it and being smart about what we look at and share. We hope that today's show has given you lots to think about. Thanks for watching. I am Chris Lems in Lagos, Nigeria. Bye for now.
Talking about social media, don't forget to check out our channels. We have lots of content that is definitely worth sharing. You can also write to us at echo@dw.com. I'm Malama Mukonde in Kafue, Zambia, and it's goodbye from me.
Unaijua sauti ya imani ambayo ilisimama thabiti ingawa ilipata shida. Miaka ilivyopita, Uislamu uliposimama imara, Mtume Muhammad aliamua kumchagua Bilal kuwa muadhini wa kwanza katika Uislamu.
Tumeona watu wakikata tamaa na wengine ambao hawana imani wakaamua wengine mpaka kujitia kitanzi. Kwa wengine mmefanya makosa ambayo muone yametutoa katika Uislamu. Usikate tamaa na rahma ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Ya Nabi salam alayka, ya Rasul salam alayka.
We have our principles and they have their rules. Our culture and lifestyles are different. In Africa, there are many grasslands like this. When you have time, you can visit the national parks, explore Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Kenya.
Last night, the locals organized a farewell party for them. It was great fun.
Mbona kila mara una wasiwasi? Pole, pole.
Pole what? What pole? Can you help us with the surgery? We're short on staff. You think I can?
Tahia zile nguo.
Alizipenda. Kwanza anataka hivyo vipande 12. Kwa hivyo tuvitenge. Wewe umefuata nini hapa?
Sijui kama ni pendo ama ni mambo mengine, lakini hatutamruhusu kufanya hivyo kamwe.
Basi huyu ni ua langu. Hakuna mtu yeyote atakayejaribu kunitenga nalo, basi hataona raha.
Wanipa vitisho ama wajaribu kunifokea?
Si hivyo.
Well, the global sports business is valued at about $500 billion US, and this is expected to accelerate to about $600 billion by the year 2030. And when you look at these industries, are growing at a rate of 6.5% annually. And it's a major socioeconomic driver around the world, employing millions of people. And when you look at Kenya, it's a sports powerhouse in Africa, from football, athletics, hockey to tennis, and of course swimming. Kenya has won many accolades because of sports, and now there is a renewed focus on how to drive sports in Kenya for socio-economic development. And currently, the government is focusing on talent exploitation as well as capacity development, plus infrastructure expansion. Well, tonight we're in the business of discussing sports right here on Inside Government. And I guess who is joining us is the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Sports. This is Elijah Mwangi. We're going to have a conversation around what the government is doing to develop sports in this country. Thank you very much indeed, Bona PS, for joining us tonight. From strategic management to the Ministry of Mining, now to the State Department for Sports, it has been a transition in the last 3 years or so. How are you finding your footing in the world of sports?
Thank you, Brian. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our viewers to these discussions on matters of sports. Good evening. Well, as you have said, Kenya is a powerhouse. It was demonstrated in the last 2 weeks when we sent our team to Japan, Tokyo, for the World Athletics Championships. As you are aware, Kenya emerged position number 2 in the whole world. That was immediately after USA. That demonstrates that we are a powerhouse. So I appreciate and I really congratulate the team that went to represent us in Japan, and more so the Athletics Kenya, who organized and managed the team so that we won. We brought in 11 medals. We had 7 golds, courtesy of our great ladies and men, and of course 2 silvers and 2 bronze. So hongera kwa Kenya. Now, in the State Department for Sports, which is in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, with our CS, Honorable Sari Mvurya, we are doing great. We have transited from where we were some years back to today. Our responsibility is to identify talent. We nurture those talents, we develop them. But when we are doing that, we are looking sports as a career. That's why we say talents or Taranta Hera. If you are to consider those sportsmen and women who are in majority of our sports disciplines, you'll identify that Kenya we have so many sportsmen and sportswomen. But as a government, what are we doing so that we can support them such that they can earn a living from the God-given talent? So we have a responsibility to nurture those talents, and that's what we have been doing. So when you find that we are doing infrastructure, when we are doing stadiums, when we are doing the sports academies, when you find that we are working on community grounds, we are just working to ensure that our talented athletes get an opportunity. If you have a talent, we are there to support you so that you can earn career from it, you can earn living from it, even as we look at it as a recreation, as a health, things to make you fit, but we are working to ensure that you get paid for your talent.
And now that you're talking about remuneration of our athletes, and we have seen an example, being set during the just concluded CHAN, which was held here in East Africa. We saw the president rewarding Harambee Stars players. We also saw the athletes who triumphed in Tokyo, getting financial rewards. But the question that is now coming across is this going to be standardized across all disciplines, or is it just concentrated around football and athletics?
Well, the rewards that we are doing is one of the many ways we appreciate our sportsmen and sportswomen. For instance, we have our sportsmen and sportswomen, those who are professionals in what they are doing. So regardless whether they are paid by the government or not, they are doing what they love best. We have quite a number of professionals playing in this country and outside this country, including those athletes who ran for this country and outside this country. And the allowances that we pay for them, the allowance that we pay to sportsmen and sportswomen is standardized. It is something that is a policy within the government.
How much did you give to the footballers per person?
Well, there are several ways we remunerate our athletes.
Yeah.
But for allowances, it is standardized. We have a policy for that. So any person who represents Kenya internationally, we consider them and we pay them equally. Doesn't matter the discipline that you are representing us on. It's not a must that you are in football. We have so many sports disciplines. In fact, over 140 that are registered with us. And when you are representing us, the president was very gracious, and he has directed that we review upward the daily allowances when we are representing us from 60, the one that we are paying athletes, to around 200 USD per day. And for
so from $60,
right,
that's about 7,000 Kenya shillings,
right,
to 200.
Absolutely.
That's about 25 or
26 there.
26 there.
Then for the technical bench, we have reviewed from $80 to 300. That is the directive of the president.
And when is this taking effect?
And that one does not matter. The discipline, the sports that you are representing us on. Of course, it is a process which we have embarked, because everything must be anchored in law, such that it is not a must that you will be paid by current PAs because I know you, or you are coming from a certain known federation or a sports discipline. It's for everybody. Equally, the cash awards are for everybody. So depending with the kind of sports discipline you are representing us. For instance, those who will represent us in Olympics, it doesn't matter whether it is athletes or any other discipline. When you give us a gold as a country, the honor that you have bestowed to this great nation, we reward you the 3 million. So that is for everybody, including the winning bonuses. Of course, those athletes, when they represent outside there, they are paid. Now for Harambee Stars, whatever we paid for them is what had been agreed and what we pay, essentially. Now let me look at it in a different way, sports, because we are looking at sports for economic development individually and as a nation. When we hosted CHAN, the caliber and the number of people that we attracted in this country, the economic benefit that was associated with this is enormous. For instance, we had to rehabilitate our stadiums, as we even constructed others.
That is Kasarani and Nyayo.
We had Kasarani and Nyayo. For it to be done, we had quite a number of jobs that were created, both within, through directly and indirectly. And equally, when we hosted now the actual games, we had quite a number of jobs that were created. And of course, there were other effects which comes up with it. And therefore, it is for us a strategy which we have adopted to host those international competitions locally for the benefit that it carries. May I consider some of the areas that we have worked on as we support our sportsmen and sportswomen. We have talked about the stadiums. I hope you are aware that we are working on one of the largest infrastructure stadium locally, that is the Talanta Sports City.
Which is at what rate of completion now?
Well, what they are doing at the moment, they are working on the roofing and the outside caliber, so that by December 31st, we are certain it shall be completed. Of course, we are around 60-65, but majority of the works that were meant to be done has been done. Now, the few works that is ongoing, we are certain it shall be done by that 1st of December. Then, we were also working on Kasarani Stadium. It has been done, but that was meant for CHAN. In as far as hosting AFCON is concerned, we know AFCON is bigger compared to CHAN. And therefore, we have plans which are already in place. We have a contractor who was working on it. Of course, he did what he was to do, but the contract is running. So we expect to rework on some of the specs within Kasarani so that we can accommodate the requirements.
Talking about sports and football, I want us now to turn our focus now to other disciplines. Look, Kenya is an athletics powerhouse, but we only have 3 tracks. Okay, Kasarani, Nyayo, and now Ulinzi Sports Center. Tell us more about what the government is planning to do to expand tracks facility here in Kenya, with the mind, bearing in mind that Kenya is targeting to host the World Athletic Championships in 2029.
Well, thank you, Brian, again. The infrastructure that we are working on, we are working jointly with the federations, more so to ensure that we do them the best way. For a playing field, we are working closely with FKF so that the standard that we put in one can be replicated in all of them. So we are working on a prototype. All stadiums are the same, specifically for 10,000 seater. All of them will look the same. Equally, we are also working very closely with the Athletics Kenya. Their technical officers have been involved to ensure that the running tracks that we put in our stadiums are standard. They can be used to be gauged within any other event approved by the World Athletics. So all of them, the one that we are doing henceforth. So we shall not have issues that we just have one stadium like the way you are putting it, Kasarani. And by the way, we are working on the running track for Kasarani. Remember, we were to put up a new Tantan track. That one is on course. Equally for Nyayo, by the time we were hosting CHAN, we had removed the old Tantan track. And already, if you visit Kasarani, you'll find the contractor has already worked.
The same for Nyayo.
That is for Nyayo. Equally, we were able to host Cape Kaino Classic at Ulinzi. That means the stadium for Ulinzi is good to host any form of athletics. And that one is being replicated across all our stadium. If you go to Nakuru, whereby we are still working with the governor Nakuru to ensure that Afraha Stadium Afraha Stadium is fit. And all of them, the few that we are working, we want to ensure that we have a standard running track. Equally, we are working on sports academies. Sports academies are just a training center for our sportsmen and sportswomen as we nurture talent. Right now, we have 7 sports academies scattered across the country. In these sports academies, you expect a fairly standard football pitch, a standard one. You expect 8 lanes learning track. And I've said we are working with the technical officers from the relevant federations to ensure they are standard.
Are we going to have any running tracks around Talanta?
Let me finish on the sports academy and then I go back to Talanta. Of course, there isn't. For sports academy, we have the football pitch, which can also be used for hockey. It can be used for rugby and maybe for cricket. We have 8-lane running track that are standard. We have a basketball pitch. We have volleyball pitch. We have handball pitch. Equally, we are sinking a borehole, a solar powered. We are doing some workshops at changing rooms which will be used for training for our identified talent. The purpose of these sports academies, as I have said, is to nurture the identified talent. This year, the year 24-25 financial year, we identified over 4,064 talents. Mostly they are identified by our scouts, and that's where we are looking at the grassroots sports. If you are to look at the picture of our secondary schools and our primary schools, the games that are hosted by the Kenya Secondary Schools Sports Association, we are able to identify a number of talents in all disciplines. Then through the Kenya Academy of Sports, we are able to bring them together. But now, through the sports academies that we are working on, we expect each and every constituency to have sports academies. We shall be bringing in these identified talents there. They shall be exposed, they shall be trained, and then they can compete within regionally, so that we can be able to identify the best. And we have produced quite a number of professionals through this program, including Doreen Kibet, and majority of these players that were playing for Chan. Of course, the majority of them also get an opportunity to get sponsorship from this program. Then, on the same context, there are the community grounds that we are working on. Apart from the 10,000 spacious stadium, if you go through Nairobi, for instance, if you go to Babadogo, there's a ground there. If you go to Makadara, you'll find a ground there. If you go to Tena, if you go to Bakasi, and the rights including part of Dagoretti, we're also working on them so that we can have adequate training and playing fields, which are standard. The question was, are they standard? Yes, they are, both for all the others. But for Talanta is purely designed to host, if it is football, there's no running track. And of course, it may be used for other activities. I've said we can have some cultural events there. We can have entertainment, music, but for athletics, it isn't. But outside Talanta, we have some other 2 fields that are, of course, available for playing football. We may consider to see whether, as we progress, whether they can have a learning track.
Very good. Look, you know, Kenya is not just about football and athletics. I mean, we have been a powerhouse in the past of cricket. And you remember very well that in 2003 we hosted a major tournament here, and Kenya went all the way to the semi-finals of the one-day international. Today, cricket is in disarray. You look at hockey. The only hockey pitch that had a turf was the City Park Stadium. Now it has gone into disuse. What is the government doing to ensure that these facilities and the revival of cricket takes place in this country?
Well, you are right. We are not just Ministry of Sports just to take care of football or athletics. I indicated we have over 140 federations. It means, therefore, we have several disciplines that we also consider. But if you are to look at some of those sports, majority of them are played indoors. And of course, we have our gymnasia there at Kasarani and Nyayo. And others, for instance, boxing, the way it is designed, we used to have those halls. For instance, the Mudhurwa Hall used to be very active in matters boxing, karate, and the likes. But they are under the management of the county government. And of course, it is them then that they are supposed to maintain. When we talk about all those other stadiums, majority of them are under the management of the county government. They are just coming on board to ensure that we have the right infrastructure. So what we are saying is that apart from those stadiums, we shall be relooking into infrastructure that the government can come in and invest in, because it's not practical for government.
Are we planning to put up any hockey stadium in Kenya anytime soon?
Let me finish. It's not practical for government to invest in a private facility. Now we have an MOU engagement with quite a number of international sponsors. For instance, on matters basketball, we have an engagement with NBA. They are doing for us 4 big courts for
indoor.
Indoor for basketball. And equally across the country, we have it here in Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, and most likely Eldoret.
But have you seen what they have done in Kigali, the Kigali Arena?
Absolutely.
Is it going to be something
that's
close
what
to
we are working on, those 4. But essentially, we are also working on an additional 100 across the country. So apart from those 4 arenas that we have identified, we are also working now the basketball court around 100 within the countries. You have talked about cricket. Well, you put it right that it used to be. Of course, even now it is. I've attended some of their games. Of course, they may not be having the same vigor that they had those years. But one of the challenges that we are experiencing is the management or the governance of these federations. Because where there are crises, where there are disputes, you do not expect progress. But we have a responsibility, and we have been reaching out to these federations. Right now, we have an issue which we are working on within cricket, and it has lobbed in. We have also invited the World Federation for Cricket to come and talk to them so that they can appreciate that it's not so much, but there's something that needs to be done within cricket. But even the others, the rugby, they're okay. Golf, we don't have an issue. For instance, for golf,
it's because it's privately managed.
You do not expect the government to have those golf, but there are quite a number. There are some counties that are putting up.
Very good.
Let's
also talk about something that you have touched quickly, because I can see time is almost up. I also want you to tell us, there was a time when the government talked about rehabilitating the East African rugby club that is on Gong Road to make it world class so that we can host big matches. I would want to hear whether there is any progress around that. Plus, we are talking about reviewing the Sports Act of 2013 as well as the sports policy. Federations have been having a challenge, updating their federations to the requirements of the Sports Act. How are you working with them to ensure that they live within the framework of the Sports Act?
Well, as you put it, our current Sports Act was developed a long time ago in the year 2016. Equally, we have a policy that was developed the year 2005. Of course, those are a long time, but we have engaged our stakeholders. Right now, we have a draft policy. We have a draft we may call a sports bill that we are prepared to take it to the cabinet for approval before we submit it to the National Assembly for deliberations. And you'll find several clauses that we have introduced so that we can manage well the sports in this country. For instance, we are introducing an appeal after the tribunal, because currently if you have an issue, governance issue, there will be canvassed within the federation itself. They may be taken to the sports tribunal, but of course also they have an opportunity for the same to be taken to the High Court. But for us, we have introduced an appeal if you are not satisfied within the tribunal itself. the first instance, you can appeal. Equally, we are looking at how the governance of our federations is. And the discussion we are having is, should it be time-bound? Should it be 4 years, renewable, 5 years, and the likes, which is a discussion because I've said it is a draft. And equally, we are also looking at how to manage the active sportsmen and women, and of course those who are retired. So we have very good proposals. On the same, we also want to open and make it more broader on sports, because we have so much benefits, of course, coming from what we have learned in the recent hosting of international football competitions. You know, when you host and when you present athletes there, sportsmen and women, it is a national pride, and we are happy that Kenya get an opportunity to be exposed and to be known, of course, as a powerhouse, more so on athletics, and the economic benefits that comes again with it, sports tourism and the like. And maybe before I conclude, I know the Kenyans may be concerned, which is a good thing anyway, for those who love football. Kenya is a signatory, and they are working with WADA on matters doping. Well, by the time we started the journey, Kenya had very few listed athletes. You may know that before we submit our athletes for competition, they are tested. Yep. Of course, there are those at the international level, those are tested by WADA. But gradually, here in Kenya, we have so many athletes. I think they are in millions. And we have a responsibility to ensure that we promote clean sport. In the year, last year, in around April, May, WADA conducted an audit. They gave us their report around September last year. By then, they had identified 35 areas where they would, they did suggest that we work to improve on their compliances. So far, we have worked on 30 issues that were raised, and we have engaged our technical people. They are working jointly with an expert, and we are certain that we should have concluded those 5 issues come second. We are so much certain of 2nd of October.
2nd of October, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, because we have up to Friday to have done that. So Kenya, we know that we are compliant.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, Piers, thank you very much indeed for joining us here. I mean, of course, we cannot exhaust everything here on this one show. We'll continue to engage with you, plus your ministry, so that we can drive our sports agenda forward. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Excellent.
Very good. We've been talking to the Piers in charge of State Department for Sports, Elijah Mwangi. Our conversation is sports development here in Kenya. You have been watching Inside Government with me, O'Brien.
Other talent is dancing, modeling. I also play ice hockey and roller hockey, and I also play golf and tennis. My future plan is to be a doctor and a Miss Universe, and in skating I would like to be a coach and train those kids who want to skate.
Mama's porridge is sweet. Today I'm going to show you how to make a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup.
Today I'm going to teach you how to make a toilet roll sheet.
Mama's porridge is sweet.
Energy is the silent force that drives Kenya's growth. It lights homes, powers machines, fuels industries, and brings dignity to communities. From the flick of a lamp in a rural homestead to the dazzling lights of Nairobi's skyline, electricity represents opportunity. Under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, energy is no longer seen as a privilege for a few, but a fundamental right for every Kenyan. For decades, many rural and marginalized communities were left in darkness. Families relied on kerosene lamps, students struggled to study by candlelight, and businesses closed with the setting sun. The bottom-up agenda seeks to change this reality by placing ordinary Kenyans, the shopkeepers, the farmers, the welders, and the students, at the center of the nation's energy transformation. Affordable and reliable power is becoming the lifeline that supports their daily struggles and empowers their ambitions. Kenya stands proudly as a leader in renewable energy. Over 80% of the nation's electricity comes from clean sources, geothermal steam rising from the Rift Valley, winds turning into Kana, the sun powering solar farms, and rivers flowing through hydropower stations.
KenGen is strategically positioned to meet the surging demand for renewable energy solutions as global industries shift towards sustainability to combat climate change. We are proud to be at the forefront of this transition, with substantial investments in expanding our geothermal and wind energy capabilities, which will further drive regional energy security and stability.
This commitment to green energy is not only protecting the environment, but also driving down costs and strengthening energy independence.
That is very important for the country. Why do we think that is important for the country? Once you discover a geothermal resource, if it is well managed, it can give the country power for over 100 years or more. So it is very important when we as a country discover a resource, then it means that that is power for the country for a fairly very long period.
More importantly, it creates jobs for thousands of young people who are being trained and employed as technicians, engineers, and innovators in the renewable sector. But energy is about more than lighting. In homes across the country, clean cooking solutions are transforming lives. Families that once depended on smoky firewood and charcoal are embracing modern alternatives. Liquefied petroleum gas, biogas, and electric cooking. These solutions safeguard the health of women and children, reduce the strain on Kenya's forests, and save households precious time and resources. At the same time, innovation is reshaping the transport and digital economies.
Kama ni hiyo pikipiki tutaweza kuzipata hizo za stima. Utakuta hiyo pikipiki hata ukichaji usiku. During the day sasa wewe utakuwa unaenda kwa fuel. Utakuwa cost ya stima iko chini kushinda mambo ya fuel.
The easiest way to make this thing work as well is there need to be a lot of partnership between county government na private sectors. So county government should allow private sector to come because the biggest driver of this e-mobility will be the private sector.
Ningeomba tu wapate kufika hata pikipiki yenyewe unaweza ichajia pale nyumbani. Ndio kwa sababu hata yule mwenye yako pale mashambani apate nafasi. Tunasikia charging point ni moja tu hapa Nakuru, so hiyo ita affect mwingine yako Bahati, mwingine yako kule Dondori, hataweza kupata ile service.
As Kenya Power is really to support that. So wherever that infrastructure is to be constructed and whoever is coming up with any development and they want Kenya Power to assist or to facilitate that particular provision, will be right there with them.
One key thing we've noticed is people are interested in electric vehicles, but they're not sure if there's a robust charging network to support their EVs. But now they are seeing that the network is there.
Solar-powered irrigation pumps and smart energy apps are creating new markets, inspiring young entrepreneurs and positioning Kenya as a hub for green technology. Reliable energy is also the backbone of economic transformation. It powers factories that process farm produce, cools milk in cooperative storage centers, irrigates dry farmland, and keeps ICT hubs buzzing with digital creativity. For a farmer in Kitui, a solar pump means crops can flourish even in the dry season, tripling harvests and creating jobs. For a shopkeeper in Kisumu, a simple electricity connection means longer business hours, refrigeration, and a better livelihood for the family. These stories, repeated in countless communities, prove that energy is not just about supply, it is about opportunity. Yet even as renewables continue to anchor Kenya's energy mix, the government is preparing for the future. With rapid population growth and industrialization, demand will only rise. To meet this challenge, Kenya is laying the groundwork for nuclear power. By the 2030s, the nation envisions its first nuclear power plant, modern, safe, and efficient, providing stable baseload electricity to complement renewables. Nuclear energy promises not just reliability, but also the potential to unlock heavy industries, stabilize the grid, and guarantee energy security for generations.
Na hii project ni project ya maana sana kwa sababu itawezesha serikali yetu ya Kenya kuzalisha umeme wa kutosha na kuhakikisha kwamba hiyo blackouts ambao tuna experience huku western part of Kenya imeisha, na pia itahakikisha kwamba tutakuwa tumepunguza price ya stima kwa sababu price ya stima imekuwa juu sana, na hiyo inafanya kwamba wananchi wetu wanaumia na hawawezi kufanya maendeleo kadhaa.
At the same time, last mile connectivity is ensuring that no Kenyan is left behind. Through national programs, thousands of households are being linked to the grid each year. For children studying under electric light for the first time, for health centers that can now refrigerate vaccines, and for villages that can host small businesses, these connections mark the beginning of a brighter, fairer future.
We have a big program on rural electrification to connect close to 300,000 homes across Kenya. I need your support to the Ministry of Energy.
Karibu sana, Your Excellency. These are the projects that we are implementing in Kakamega County. The total investment for last mile in Kakamega County is 2.98 billion. This is an amount that is being implemented by both REREC and KPLC. At the end of this project, Your Excellency, we expect to connect 34,759 customers, close to 35,000. And the total number of projects we are doing is 498 to achieve the 35,000. The investment for REREC, Your Excellency, is spread out across the constituencies. Just to mention that for us to be able to implement projects in the constituencies, we work very closely with the members of parliament in the choice of the projects so that we make sure that we prioritize properly. In Shunyalu constituency, which is where we are doing 4 projects at the cost of 38.35 million, Your Excellency. And by the time we finish implementing the projects, we shall have connected 493 customers. We are still doing more. We have another 10 that are under design, and therefore we shall be able to achieve more. Today we are commissioning this project. It is called the Luhumbi Village Electrification Project, and it is costing Exchequer 8.15 million shillings, and it is going to connect 93 customers. We have already connected about a half of this. The rest of them we shall complete by the close of this week. Thank you, sir.
Kenya's energy story is one of progress, ambition, and vision. It is about building a nation where every home has light, every enterprise has power, and every dream has the chance to grow.
We as Kenyans must know our 2,300 megawatts cannot drive any meaningful industrialization. We need at the minimum 10,000 megawatts of energy so that we can power the industrialization and the manufacturing of our nation going into the future and position Kenya as the place and the destination for manufacturing and industrialization programs that are coming from the rest of the world. So I just want to assure the investors who are here that government of Kenya is making policy decisions, whether it is fiscal, whether it is in the area of infrastructure, whether it is in the area of making sure that our special economic zones have the least bureaucracy so that we can create a better hub of industrialization and manufacturing in Kenya. I can assure you that the people of Kenya are the most hardworking, the most learned, na ni watu wa kujituma, na ni watu wa bidii, na ni watu wa ambao they need minimum supervision. Therefore, we have the right ingredients to have manufacturing in our country and to manufacture and work with global companies to join the global value chain of manufacturing. And I am very confident that Kenya is going to play in that league.
From the geothermal wells of Naivasha to the wind corridors of Marsabit, from solar rooftops in schools to the planned nuclear plant of the future, Kenya is crafting an energy sector that is affordable, sustainable, inclusive, and forward-looking. In the spirit of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, energy is not just powering Kenya's present, it is shaping its destiny. It is lighting the path to prosperity, fueling industries, empowering the hustler, and securing a brighter tomorrow for all Kenyans.
To KBC Channel 1 TV on your favorite gospel show, The Backyard, with me, DJ Tabs, as we introduce to you our new host, the one and only award-winning gospel artist, pioneer, Mr. Big Deal, Mr. General, the one and only.
Yes, man, I go by the name Hope Kid the General, Mr. Big Deal, new school dancehall pioneer, and I'm humbled to be your amazing host from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday with DJ Tabs, the head girl, and we'll be having amazing conversation with some of the leading guest line here on this show.
Join us
each and every Saturday.
Ni talanta zinakuzwa.
Taja umuhimu wa formula katika fasihi simulizi.
Inasaidia kuitoa athira kutoka ulimwengu halisi hadi ulimwengu wa hadithi.
Jadili changamoto zozote zile zinazowakumba waajiriwa kwa kurejelea hadithi ya harubu ya maisha.
Changamoto ya kwanza ni kucheleweshwa kulipwa mshahara.
Lakini mtu ambaye ana masomo utapata kwamba hategemei kazi moja peke yake.
Wingi wa sentensi. Mvuvi amemwona mwewe msikitini.
Wavuvi wamewaona mwewe msikitini.
Wavuvi wamewaona mwewe msikitini. Wapigwa makofi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Karibu mpenzi mtazamaji wa KBC Channel 1 katika kipindi cha ukumbi wa Kiislamu. Jina langu ni Alishe. Kipindi hichi kinakukumbusha, kinakuelimisha na pia kinakupatia burudani kutokana na nashid na Qur'an kutoka kwa wanafunzi wa madrasa. Hivyo basi ungana nami Alishe kutoka mwanzo hadi mwisho tuweze kufaidika kwa pamoja. Ndugu mtazamaji, unafahamu kwamba katika mambo ambayo yana uzito mkubwa ni kuwa na imani na kile kitu ambacho unakifanya. Chochote unachofanya bila ya kuamini kwamba kitu kile kina manufaa, basi mara nyingi kitu kile hakiwi na faida kwako wala kwa watu wengine. Hivyo basi leo hii tuangalie Nabii Musa pale alipopasua bahari na kuweza kupita na watu wake. Je, ilikuwaje mpaka ikafikia hapa?
Katika ardhi ya Misri zamani, watu wa Bani Israeli walikuwa wakiteswa vibaya na mfalme dhalimu aliyejulikana kama Firaun. Mfalme huyu alijiona kama Mungu, aliwadhulumu watu wake, akiwaua watoto wa kiume na kuacha wa kike hai. Utajiuliza, je, kwa nini alikuwa akiua watoto wa kiume peke yake? Alikuwa akifanya hivyo kwa sababu aliwahi kupata ndoto kwamba kutakuja mtoto wa kiume atakayempokonya ufalme wake, atakayemwangusha na kumdhalilisha. Hivyo basi, kuepuka jambo hilo kutokea, alitoa amri kwamba watoto wote watakaozaliwa wa jinsia ya kiume watolewe uhai. Watu waliishi kwa hofu na machozi mingi sana. Watu hao walimwogopa sana Firaun. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala akamleta Nabii Musa, mtoto aliyenusurika kifo. Nabii Musa alipozaliwa, mama yake alikuwa na hofu alipogundua kwamba mtoto wake alikuwa ni wa jinsia ya kiume, kutokana na ile amri ya Firaun kwamba watoto wote wa jinsia ya kiume watolewe uhai. Mama yake aliamua kumchukua na kumweka kwenye kikapu. Akachukua kikapu kile, akakiweka kwenye mto kwa amri ya Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, na kwa rehema zake Mwenyezi Mungu kikapu hicho kikaelekea hadi kwenye kasri la Firaun. Mke wa Firaun, mwanamke mwema aliyetajwa hadi kwenye Qur'an, aitwaye Asia, aliona kikapu kile. Hakuwa amejaliwa mtoto, hivyo basi akamrai mume wake Firaun waweze kumlea mtoto huyu. Firaun alikataa awali, bidi akubali. Hivyo basi Nabii Musa akalelewa ndani ya kasri la Firaun. Yule Firaun ambaye alitoa amri kwamba vijana wote wauawe, ndiyo sasa alikuwa akimlea Nabii Musa ndani ya kasri lake. Miaka ikapita. Musa aliendelea kuwa ndani ya ile kasri la kifahari, lakini moyo wake ukabaki na huruma kwa wanyonge. Aliona namna Firaun alivyokuwa akiwatesa watu na hakupendezwa sana na jambo hilo. Siku moja aliona mtu wa kabila lake akidhulumiwa na askari wa Firaun. Musa akaingilia kati vita vile, lakini kwa bahati mbaya akampiga kofi askari yule na akamsababishia kifo. Musa akaogopa sana, hivyo basi akakimbia Misri usiku ule ule, akaenda ardhi ya mbali. Alipofika katika nchi ya Madian, alikutana na mabinti wawili waliokuwa wakihangaika kuchota maji. Hakuwajua mabinti hawa, ila aliwasaidia kwa upole na kwa huruma. Na mmoja wa mabinti hao, binti wa Nabii Shuaib, akaenda kumwambia baba yake kuhusu Musa. Hapo ndipo Musa alipokaa huko kwa miaka kadhaa, akifanya kazi, akijifunza subra na maisha ya utulivu. Lakini siku moja Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala akamuita kutoka upande wa mlima mtakatifu, akasema, Musa, mimi ni Mwenyezi Mungu, nenda kwa Firaun, hakika amepitiliza mipaka yake. Musa kwa sauti ya heshima na unyenyekevu akasema, Mola wangu, nifungulie kifua changu na unirahisishie jambo langu. Kisha akaondoka kuelekea Misri, akijua anaenda kukabiliana na mfalme mwenye jeshi kubwa, lakini yeye Musa alijihami kwa imani kwamba Mwenyezi Mungu yuko pamoja na yeye. Musa alipofika Misri, alienda kumlingania Firaun na kukawa na vuta ni kuvute baina ya watu hawa wawili. Na Musa baada ya muda alipata wafuasi. Firaun alipoona kwamba Musa ameanza kupata watu wanaomwamini, akaamua kumwangamiza Musa na watu wake. Hivyo basi Firaun alianza kumfuata Musa na jeshi lake. Musa na watu wake walijikuta wamezingirwa. Walikimbia, ila walifikia mahali ambapo mbele yao ilikuwa ni bahari tu na nyuma kulikuwa na jeshi la Firaun. Watu ambao walianza kumfuata Musa waliogopa, wakamwambia Musa, tumekwisha. Lakini Musa akasema kwa utulivu, hapana, hakika Mola wangu yuko pamoja nami, atanyonyesha njia. Kwa amri ya Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Musa akaamrishwa apige fimbo yake kwenye bahari, na alipopiga bahari kwa fimbo yake, maji yakapasuka yakawa milima miwili, na njia ikatokea katikati kwenye ile bahari. Wana wa Israeli wakapita salama hadi wakavuka, na Firaun na majeshi yake wakajaribu kuwafuata. Walipopita katika njia ile iliyofunguka, maji yakarudi kwa nguvu na kuwameza Firaun na jeshi lake. Wakati huo Musa na watu wake walipiga takbir na kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kuwaokoa.
Ndugu mtazamaji, baada ya kupata tarehe hiyo fupi ya Nabii Musa alipopasua bahari na kupita na wafuasi wake kutokana na imani yake kubwa kwa Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, kwa sasa tuingie katika sehemu ya mawaidha yaliyotolewa na Sheikh Mudathir Omar akituelezea kuhusiana na mada nzito, mada ambayo watu wengi wanaiogopa kuizungumzia, mada kuhusiana na kifo. Tumsikilize na yeye pia kutuambia.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Arsalahu Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala bil huda wa dinil haqqi liyudhhirahu ala ad-din kullihi walau kariha al-kafirun. Amma ba'd. Baada ya kumshukuru Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala kwa neema alizotuneemesha, neema kubwa kubwa na neema ndogo ndogo zenye kuonekana na zisizoonekana, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala ametupa uhai, akaturuzuku na neema tofauti tofauti, na leo kwa uwezo Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala tutakumbushana kunako safari ya kila mmoja. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala nasema katika surati al-Anbiya aya ya 35, asema kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut wa nabluukum bisharri wal khairi fitnatan wa ilayna turja'un. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala baada ya kumshukuru kwa neema alizotuneemesha, hii inatosha tuweze kusimuliana mawili matatu na kukumbushana, kwani sisi wote ni wasafiri na sisi wote ni wenye kuondoka katika mgongo ardhi. Maadamu tumeshazaliwa na mama zetu tukaja katika ulimwengu mwingine wa pili, na baada yake tutarajie tutatoka katika mgongo huu wa ardhi tuingie katika matumbo ya ardhi, na kisha baadaye tutafufuliwa. Sisi wote tutafufuliwa tukiwa kama vile tulivyozaliwa na mama zetu. Allah tabaraka wa taala katika aya hii anatukumbusha kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, kila nafsi itaonja mauti. Na kullu kielimu imegawanyika sehemu mbili kuu. Kuna kullu minal kulli na kuna kullu minal kulli. Kullu minal kulli ndio hii kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Hii inamaanisha ya istighraq. Kullu minal kulli maana yake kila chenye nafsi kitaonja mauti. Na ndio maana ukiangalia kuanzia Nabiullahi Adam alayhi salatu wassalam aliishi miaka mingi sana, lakini hatima yake ilikuwa ni kuondoka katika mgongo wa ardhi hii. Ilikuwa afe, aondoke katika mgongo wa ardhi hii ili iwe ni ibra. Na haya mazingatio Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala ametueleza katika surati al-Mulk, baada a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rrajim, alladhi khalaqa al-mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala anasema yeye ndio ameumba uhai na umauti ili kutupa mitihani sisi, ni nani atakayekuwa na matendo yaliyo mazuri, ni nani atakayekuwa na matendo yenye kumridhisha Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Leo utaona ulimwengu tunaoishi ni ulimwengu wa misukumano tofauti tofauti, kuuana tofauti tofauti, kuhusudiana tofauti tofauti, na baada yake si mwenye kufanyiwa ubaya, si mwenye kufanya ubaya, mwenye kufanya ubaya na mwenye kufanyiwa ubaya, wote ni wenye kuondoka katika mgongo wa ardhi. Kwa hiyo Mwenyezi Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anasema kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, kila nafsi itaonja mauti. Kisha baada ya kusema kila nafsi, yani iwe itakavyokuwa, awe ni mtume, awe ni mfuasi wa mtume, awe ni mwanachuoni, asiwe ni mwanachuoni, awe raisi, asiwe raisi, awe maskini, awe fukara, wote wataonja mauti. Awe binadamu, awe mnyama, maadamu kina nafsi, kile kiumbe kina nafsi, basi ni chenye kuondoka katika mgongo wa ardhi hii. Na ndio maana Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anatukumbusha kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, kila nafsi itaonja umauti. Kisha baada ya kumaliza hapo, wanabulukum bisharri wal khair. Tukienda katika tafsiri ya Ismail ibn Kathir na mufassirina wengi wa Qur'ani wametoa irshadati pale katika wanabulukum bisharri wal khair, tutawapeni mitihani katika shari na kheri, katika mambo ya shari na kheri, kwa kupa utajiri, kwa kunyima utajiri, kwa kupewa watoto, kwa kunyima watoto, kwa kupewa mke, kwa kunyima kuto kupewa mke, yani vyovyote itakavyokuwa, bisharri wal khair, katika mambo ya shari na kheri, kwa kupewa riziki, kwa kuto kupewa riziki, kwa kupewa afya, kwa kuto kupewa afya, zote bisharri wal khair. Wakati mwingine mtu anaweza kaona labda kupewa mali akajitapa kwa watu, akawa ni jeuri. La, usifanye takaburi kwa watu kwa sababu umefanywa wasa wa mali, au umepewa afya, kwa sababu maisha ni fumbo na kila mmoja anataka kulijua fumbo hili ufafanuzi wake, na hakuna mtu aliyeweza maisha. Watu wote wanaishi katika mgongo ardhi hii, wote wako kwenye fumbo, na hakuna mtu anayejua hatima yake, mwisho wake utakuwaje. Kwa hiyo wanabulukum bisharri wal khairi fitnatan, kuwa ni mtihani. Tutawapeni mtihani kwenye shari na khairi kwenye nyewe binadamu. Na ndio Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anasema fa amma al-insan idha mabtalahu rabbuhu fa akramahu. Unaona, imekuja ibtila. Mwanadamu tukipa mtihani, huyu mwanadamu tunapompa mtihani, tukamneemesha, tukamfungulia, tukampa fahamu, tukamruzuku watoto, tukamfanyia kadha na kadha, basi utembea faqulu rabbi akraman, usema Mwenyezi Mungu amenitukuza, ameniinua, amenifanya kadha. Wa amma idha mabtalahu faqadara alayhi rizqa, tena imekuja ibtila. Na huyu mwanadamu pia tunapompa challenge kidogo ya maisha, tukamkadiria riziki yake ikawa ni kauka nikovae, yani mchuzi kwa nani, hajui leo atakula wapi, na wala hajui riziki yake ya kesho itakuwa vipi, hajui school fees ataitoa wapi, basi mwanadamu yule huhangaika, akasema fayaqulu rabbi ahanan, usema Mola wangu amenitweza, amenidhalilisha. Kwa hiyo Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anasema kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, kila nafsi itaonja mauti. Aisha atakavyoishi mwanadamu, apenda atakavyopenda. Na ndio maana utaona hata Mtume alipendwa zaidi, lakini wakati wake ulipofikia miaka 63 aliondoka katika mgongo wa ardhi. Kwa hiyo Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, hiyo yote ni ibtila. Kwa hiyo akatwambia baada ya mauti kila nafsi itaonja mauti, wanabulukum bisharri wal khair fitnatan wa ilaina turja'un, na kwetu sisi mtarejea nyote viumbe. Kwa hiyo mwanadamu kama mwanadamu aishi katika mgongo huu wa ardhi akijua sababu yake ya kuumbwa na Mwenyezi Mungu ni ipi, ni kumwabudu Mwenyezi Mungu na kuwa mnyenyekevu, na aheshimu kila mtu, aheshimu anayemjua na asiyomjua, adumishe amani, aeneze amani kila pahali, kwa sababu akitarajia anachokifanya kinarekodiwa katika daftari yake. Kwa hiyo kitu kikubwa mwanadamu ni ajue hakuumbwa na Mwenyezi Mungu aishi katika mgongo wa ardhi hii milele, bali yeye wakati wowote ataitwa kwa Mwenyezi Mungu na atarudi kwa Mwenyezi Mungu, na ataulizwa huu ulimwengu aliuishi vipi, aliamiliana vipi na watu, alikuwa ni msikilivu au alikuwa ni mkaidi, yote ataulizwa na Allah tabaraka wa taala. Kwa hiyo Mwenyezi Mungu tunamwomba Allah tabaraka wa taala atuondoe katika mgongo wa ardhi hii tukiwa radhi na yeye, na tukiwa tumejiepusha kuwakosea wanadamu kama sisi na viumbe mbalimbali. Kwa hiyo nikifikia hapa nitasema assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kwa hakika mtazamaji, kifo ni jambo ambalo kila mwanadamu lazima apitie, na ni kitu ambacho kinatukumbusha, maana Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amesema ameumba uhai na mauti ili kuweza kufahamu ni yupi ambaye atafanya mambo mema. Hivyo basi, ndugu mtazamaji, kifo kipo na kifo ni uhakika. Hakikisha kwamba unajiandaa vizuri kabla ya mauti kukufikia, maana ikifika wakati ule itakuwa hakuna tena la zaidi unaloweza kufanya. Hivyo basi hakikisha katika uhai wako unafanya mambo mazuri ya kumridhisha Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ili Mwenyezi Mungu akubariki maisha mazuri hapa duniani na kesho akhera. Kwa sasa tupate mapumziko mafupi, lakini tutarejea baada ya muda usiokuwa mrefu na makala haya ya ukumbi wa Kiislamu.
Principles, and they have their rules. Our culture and lifestyles are different. In Africa, there are many grasslands like this. When you have time, you can visit the national parks, explore Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Kenya.
Last night, the locals organized a farewell party for them. It was great fun.
Mbona kila mara una wasiwasi? Pole, pole.
Pole what? What pole? Can you help us with the surgery? We're short on staff. You think I can?
Both we come from United Kingdom.
Even you?
Yeah. Me, I come in United Kingdom slums. Listen very carefully, because this case you are going to be hanged.
Wewe ndiye nilitumia pesa sababu pesa ilikuwa na reflect jina yako.
And you say I'm calling you sugar? Look at me.
Oh yes.
I'm a perfect figure. I'm on a diet. That's all.
Yes. Con Kenyan ladies.
No. I'm more interested in, you know, the hippopotamus?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Tuulize na Kiswahili. Muulize na Kiswahili.
Why you? How can we contact young lady mheshimiwa?
Which conman? Which conman?
Yaani uko na macho ine na uoni.
Karibu tena katika sehemu yetu ya pili ya ukumbi wa Kiislamu. Katika sehemu ya kwanza tulipata mawaidha kuhusiana na kifo, na sasa tuweze kuingia katika nashidi inayojulikana kwa Rabban iliyoimbwa na mwimbaji Labbaik mwaka wa 2017. Rabbana Ndugu mtazamaji, basi na kupoteza wakati baada ya kupata nashidi, kwa sasa tuingie katika makala spesheli kutoka kwa Ukhti Fatma Yakub.
Katika dunia ya leo, dhana ya uchumba imegeuka kuwa uwanja wa hisia, tamaa na majaribu. Lakini katika Uislamu, uchumba si mchezo wa kimapenzi, ni safari ya heshima kuelekea ndoa. Qur'an tukufu na sunna ya Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam hutoa mwongozo wa kiroho na kijamii kuhusu kuchumbiana. Leo tunaangazia kwa nini Uislamu unakataza dating ya kimapenzi, hatua halali za uchumba na madhara ya uchumba wa kisasa kwa vijana wetu. Qur'an inasema wala msikaribie zina, hakika hiyo ni uchafu wa njia mbaya. Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam alihimiza ndoa mapema kwa vijana mwenye uwezo. Enyi vijana, atakayeweza miongoni wenu basi na aoe. Mahusiano ya kimapenzi kabla ya ndoa haikubaliki katika Uislamu kwa sababu hupelekea zina na mimba za mapema, watoto bila malezi ya baba, msongo wa mawazo, kuvunjika kwa heshima ya familia. Uchumbaji wa Kiislamu huanza kwa nia ya dhati ya ndoa. Mwanamume wa Kiislamu anapotaka kumposa binti hufuata hatua zifuatazo: kujitathmini kiimani na kiuchumi, kumshirikisha familia yake, kuwasiliana na familia ya binti kwa heshima, kikao cha mashauriano hufanyika. Mwanamume yule akitaka kuzungumza na binti yule ambaye anataka kumwoa, huruhusiwa kumwona binti yule kwa njia ya heshima akiwa na mahramu wake au ndugu zake pembeni. Mtume aliruhusu kumwona unayepanga kumwoa, lakini si kwa faragha. Kukubaliana kuhusu mahari na tarehe ya ndoa, kuepuka mazungumzo ya kimapenzi au faragha. Uchumba huu hujengwa kwa heshima, uwazi na nia ya ndoa, si kwa mihemko ya muda mfupi. Uchumba wa kisasa umegeuka kwa uhusiano wa kimapenzi usio na mwelekeo wa ndoa. Vijana wanachukua binti za watu kuishi nao kabla ya ndoa bila ridhaa ya familia wala baraka za dini. Uislamu unakataza aina hii ya mahusiano kwa sababu huzaa maumivu ya kijamii na kiroho. Kwa mujibu wa utafiti wa mwaka 2023 nchini Kenya, takriban wanawake 792,092 walitoa mimba, wengi wao wakiwa na umri wa chini ya miaka 24. Wengine walijikuta na watoto bila ndoa, bila msaada wa baba na wakikumbwa na msongo wa mawazo. Uislamu unajaribu kukinga jamii dhidi ya maumivu haya kwa kuweka mipaka ya uchumba na kuhimiza ndoa halali. Uchumba katika Uislamu ni daraja la heshima. Kuelekea ndoa ni safari ya maadili, ibada na uwajibikaji. Uchumbaji wa kisasa usio rasmi huleta maumivu, lakini uchumba wa Kiislamu hujenga familia yenye baraka. Uchumba wa Kiislamu hujengwa kwa heshima, si hisia pekee, na heshima hiyo ikilindwa vyema huzaa ndoa yenye utulivu na kizazi chenye maadili.
Baada ya kupata makala hayo speciali kutoka kwa Ukhti Fatma Yakub, sasa tuingie katika sehemu ya Qur'an na hadith kutoka kwa wanafunzi wa madrasa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ismi Sudit min Markaz Riyadus Salihin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة. أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه بل يريد الإنسان ليفجر أمامه يسأل أيان يوم القيامة فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر كلا لا وزر إلى ربك يومئذ المستقر ينبأ الإنسان يومئذ بما قدم وأخر بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرا ولو ألقى معاذيرا لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن فرضنا علينا جمعا وقرآنا فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنا إن علينا بيانه وهذا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Kama vile Waswahili wasemavyo, hakuna lenye mwanzo ambalo halikosi mwisho. Hivyo basi hapa tunafikia mwisho wa kipindi chetu wiki hii ya leo. Tukutane wiki ijayo papa hapa katika chaneli yako pendwa ya KBC Channel 1. Kipindi ni Ukumbi wa Kiislamu. Jina langu ni Alishe. Maasalam.
The State Theatre is the largest performing arts venue in South Africa, offering a diverse range of live events including theatre, ballet, opera, musicals, and concerts. It houses resident companies and provides educational programs for aspiring artists. And today, we will find out more about the Kucheza Africa Festival, a Pan-African contemporary dance festival which happens right here. But first, Marina Correa from Cape Verde shows us her dance moves on a longboard. I am Pamela Mtanga, and you're watching AfriMag. Step into a world of vibrant colors, rhythms, and flavors in Accra, Ghana's thriving capital city. With bustling markets, lush gardens, and endless beaches, Accra is truly a feast for the senses.
Hi, I'm KMJ, a TV host from Accra, Ghana. And today, I'm going to take you on a journey to experience the beauty and culture of my city. Come with me.
Accra is the capital city of Ghana. It lies along the coast and a hometown to the Ga people. Migration has brought people from all walks of life, and the city holds over 2.6 million inhabitants.
Who wouldn't like to be treated like a royal in a royal space? And that exactly is what Labadi Beach Hotel offers, royalty. So one can get a day pass at this hotel and access their swimming pool and also get to enjoy their facilities as well. I can relate the feeling to a comforting childhood memory of when I used to run and hug my mom whenever she came back from town. And that can be equated to the Ghanaian hospitality. It is warm, cozy, and friendly. This is the only place in Ghana where one can enjoy a private beach in a secured environment. A real insider tip for those looking to have a relaxed day. I am on a mission today because what's a visit to Accra without a little bit of adventure? Come with me. The Legon Botanical Garden is a place one can confer with nature and experience adventure right in the city. Some of the activities here are bird watching, fishing, canopy walkway, high ropes course. I must try the high ropes course. Man must conquer his fears today. finally, I'm here on the last lap. It's been 13 obstacles. I'm excited about it. The most difficult one was the zigzag race, and then the most interesting one was the swing, which I enjoyed very well. But of course, you can also conquer your fears by coming here anytime you are in the city. I'm not done yet. Let me finish up. You cannot visit Accra without tasting a local food. Come with me and let's check out this amazing restaurant that offers delectable traditional delicacy.
A welcoming traditional ambience. This is pure Ghanaian culture on display. Asmera is a modern restaurant but traditional at heart. It is the melting pot for almost all the mouth-watering local foods in the 16 regions of Ghana. The waiters are equally dressed to give that holistic experience of culture, a true Ghanaian hospitality.
And you definitely cannot miss savoring in time-honored Ghanaian culinary flavors while eating at this place. So finally, yeah, I'm here and my food is here. So this is actually my favorite food. It's boiled yam, plantain, and I've got over here contemporary sauce, which is very nutritious. It's got some avocado over here as well. My favorite is Kobe. This is really, really good. It's salted fish, and you like it. From where you are, bon appetit. This is Jamestown, a fishing community in Accra with its famous red and white striped lighthouse in the city. Let's check out the next place. Well, this is the Art Center, a place full of artisans selling beautiful handmade handcrafts. This place offers you the opportunity to take a piece of Ghana with you as a tourist. It is time for some live band music, but before then, let's enjoy some moments on the Osuo Street here in Accra. The Osuo Street is the heartbeat of Accra and one of the most frequented places by tourists. The street is lined up with restaurants, shopping malls, casino, etc. Nightlife in Osu is exciting. Walking on the Osuo Street in Osu alone can be fulfilling.
Enjoying live band music at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill every evening from Tuesday to Saturday is the icing on the cake after a hard day's activity.